I'll get all of this off the screen down here. What's up? What's up? We are live. I'll wait for some more people to get in. I gotta get this off the screen down here.
That's not gonna move, but it's gonna move on its own.
Okay. All right. So the topic is Black Lives Matter helping the community or not? And I want to talk about it. I don't want us to get on here and argue. Whoever's going to get on here, I don't want to argue. I just want to have a conversation. If you're willing to have a conversation, if you're willing to share your thoughts without being angry, without being aggressive, let's do it. Let's have a conversation. And I do want to play this video while you guys start coming in. What's going on, Andre? I want to play this video. Let me see. Change the way I look on the screen. I want to change it to this one. Okay. So I want to play this video for you guys. And I want you guys to tell me what you think in the comments and kind of react. And let's be honest and let's not be afraid to be objective and share your opinions about what you hear on this video.
Troubling news coming out of the Black Lives Matter movement. And it is that when you decide to donate to them, you go to their website, you end up donating to Act Blue. And people have uncovered, well, what is Act Blue? They're essentially this fundraising arm for the Democrat campaign. And you can see some of their top recipients have been Bernie Sanders, Biden, Elizabeth Warren, Pete for America, Democratic Congressional Campaign, Amy for America, Friends of Andrew Yang. So you get a lot of these Democrats mixed into this whole thing when you donate to Black Lives Matter. And it just makes me wonder.
Did you guys know that? Did you know that some of your donations that you're sending in for allegedly police brutality is going to the Democratic Party? And let's see how many times we hear anything mentioned about police brutality or any of the many homicides that's in our own community.
What do the Democrats have to do with this whole racial police brutality movement? It seems like they're just mixing up a bunch of stuff. And so then it all started making sense to me why Nancy Pelosi was dressed up in African garb, playing along with this movement. And if you think about it, it is an election year after all. So isn't it strange that the timing just so happens to be that it seems like every time Black Lives Matter comes up, the last time was around 2016, it always seems to be this election year. And so somebody here says, you guys, Democrats quite...
Did you guys hear what he said? He said it always seems like election year. That's when all the racial stuff starts. Now, you guys, you have to look at that. Every 4 years we bring out this whole race card, but what's the policy? Anybody know any Democratic policies?
Really used George Floyd's death to emergency fundraise for Joe Biden's campaign, and that it was all just a scam. And so even if you were to look more deeply into this a few days ago, Kaylee Scales, who's the managing director for Black Lives Matter, didn't ask me anything on Reddit, and people are asking, where does the money go? What do you use it for? And she never replied. She never answered a single question about it, and people are saying this is really weird. And you can see here, there's another question. Okay, they're getting millions and millions of dollars in donations, right? Tons of people are funding them. And yet there's just no answer about this. And what we do know is the funds are going through Act Blue. Act Blue also happens to be this huge Democratic arm for fundraising. And the Black Lives Matter website, by the way, people have figured out that it's not even a registered 501c3 nonprofit. They're a private corporation. It's not a charity. And so I want to take a moment here to clarify my political stance, which is that I am neither Republican nor Democrat. I don't even care. I don't vote. I'm more nihilistic, actually. I'm like chaotic neutral. And so this is the illusion of choice. You give people a little bit of choice between two things, Democrat or Republican. At the end of the day, you're still funneling power into white supremacy organizations, right? Congress is mostly composed of white people. And so here's my hypothesis. Maybe the whole BlackLivesMatter.com website, that domain was bought out by the Democrats. And every election year, they find some civil unrest and they use this as a way to gain support from the Black community in order to vote Democrat. And then this organization, which some people say is funded by billionaire George Soros, fans the flames. They cause civil unrest, create protests, just cause general discontent so that people are unhappy with the current situation. And then their ultimate goal is propaganda. Now, as I was taking a look at this whole Black Lives Matter website, I also saw that if you check out their What We Believe section, there's so many other issues that are being mixed into this. So, for example, people say that this movement is against fathers, against traditional families. On the website, they say we disrupt the Western prescribed nuclear family structure by supporting each other as extended families and the villages that collectively care for one another, especially our children, to the degree that mothers and parents are comfortable. Well, nowhere in the sentence does it say father. In fact, they seem to intentionally exclude that word as if you don't really need fathers in society anymore. For some strange reason, this movement is also being mixed in with the whole LGBTQ community. They say we foster a queer affirming network where we gather, we do so with the intention of freeing ourselves from the tight grip of heteronormative thinking. Abortion is mixed into this as well. They say we deserve it and thus we demand reproductive justice, i.e. abortion that gives us autonomy over our bodies. And so the issue is, some people think this is a police brutality issue, or maybe it's even a race issue. So they donate money to the movement, and in the process, they start supporting all of these other side movements like the Democrat Party, anti-fathers, abortion, homosexuality, and a bunch of other stuff that really has nothing to do with this whole issue. The Black Lives Matter movement has essentially been co-opted by all of these other agendas. Now, while I'm on this topic, I also wanted to highlight some other disturbing news. The other day, protesters, they toppled some Confederate statue and it landed on somebody's head. And that person got critically injured. They started convulsing. You could see their skull. It's really ridiculous and tragic. And these protesters and rioters, they're no better than the police. They're damaging public property. They're causing real physical damage to each other. There's a way in which you can have a protest and gain the support of the public opinion. But if you're going to protest this way, no matter how much I personally want to support the cause, I cannot support
I just changed it.
there was this other disturbing piece of news where a UCLA professor is now on leave because he did not want to postpone an exam only for students of the Black community. So here's what happened. Some students asked him to give Black students special treatment on the exam. And his response is, thanks for your suggestion in your email below. Given the tragedy in Minnesota, do you know the names of the classmates that are Black? How can I identify them since we're only having online exams? Are there any students that may be of mixed parentage, such as half Black, half Asian? What do you suggest I do with respect to them? A full concession or just half? And so here he's explaining that how do you even define what Black really means, right? Like we saw Elizabeth Warren. She was like 1% Native American or something, and then she claimed to be Native American. So I believe that this is a fair and logical question. And then he goes on to say, do you have any idea if any of these students are from Minneapolis? I assume they're probably especially devastated as well. I'm thinking that a white student from there may even be more devastated by this, especially because some might think that they're racist, even if they're not. And so here he's saying that, well, maybe you should offer privilege based on, say, geography, say being from Minneapolis, in which you're especially struck from the recent events, than simply based on color. And that's a fair and valid question. I don't sense any racism. He's just treating all of the students the same, and he's saying that rather than try to distinguish people based on their skin color, let's take a look at their geographies if you really want to prioritize people's privileges. He says, can you guide me on how you think I should achieve a no-harm outcome since our sole course grade is from this final exam only? Remember that MLK famously said that people should not be evaluated based on the color of their skin. And then suddenly everyone said that this guy is racist and this professor is on leave now, which essentially is the same thing that's happening to me, right? Like I retweeted this person, Candace Owen, who's just been asking questions. Where are the funds going? People are asking questions. And then I'm being called a racist. Well, no, it's not really racist to ask a valid question like, hey, where are these funds going? That's not racist. That's simply a question that people are asking. And not only that, it's a question meant to help the Black Lives Matter community, right? Because as much as I personally am against identity politics, I don't like the idea that some people who think that they're donating for one cause end up donating to the Democrat campaign. At the end of the day, when I look at this, I think that there are two ways in which we are handling racism. There's one group who are saying that there should be affirmative action. There should be privilege awarded based on skin color to make up for all of the past occurrences and systemic bias within the system. And there could be some valid point here. There's another viewpoint, which is the viewpoint that I tend to believe that Moving forward, we should not be using skin color as a classification technique, but rather just award privilege based on socioeconomic class or geography, kind of like what Professor Klein was suggesting. And this viewpoint perhaps is more of a naive or idealistic one, in which you don't see color, you don't focus on it, you don't classify people based on color, you don't even acknowledge skin color, you just say that there's people. You just say people, everybody is the color gray, their race is human, their ethnicity is from planet Earth. That's kind of the approach that I've been going.
All right, so we kind of get a gist of it, and I see some people are in the room, but I don't see a lot of people talking about it. But what's your take on it? I mean, it's a lot to unpack, considering the fact that your funds or the funds that are being donated seem to be going to where this gentleman's saying. I don't know. I didn't fact check it. But do you think Black Lives Matter is helping the community or hurting the community? Made a comment about the murders in Chicago and it's not there anymore. Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that comment. What did you say about the murders in Chicago? Because that's what I was about to get into. Because to me, Black Lives Matter can use their voice. If they can get the NBA to paint Black Lives Matter on the court, then they can use their platform to start eradicating some of the murders we do to ourselves, because that is a bigger problem than not to minimize any of the people who lost their lives, but that is a bigger problem than what the police is doing. The genocide that we're doing to ourselves. Now it's children being murdered in Chicago, one in Alabama, one in Atlanta. I also heard Ricky Smiley's daughter got shot in Texas. So, I mean, you got so many innocent people getting involved. You would think if it's about Black Lives Mattering, you would go towards the majority, in my opinion. So I just want to get you guys' opinion. I know I hear it a lot on Facebook. A lot of people go to my page and they talk about it. They want to separate the two and say Black Lives Matter is just focused on the murders of when the police do it because we pay the police. But you got to think about it. Taxpayers' dollars go into the inner city as well. It go into the welfare system. It go into these hoods. So we pay for that too. And you still got to deal with us killing us. I don't care what nobody say. You can't kill us the way we're killing us and nobody talk about it. Hurting the community when Black people even can't get along. We have our own problems and it's not white people. Yeah, I mean, Destiny M, that's my thing. Everybody want to look past this gaping hole that we have in our community and skip to a couple idiot cops doing some things that they wasn't trained to do, and they were just wrong, and they should get the appropriate punishment for. But that doesn't negate the fact that what I see going on in our community, crimes are up. It seems like the rhetoric that's being said in the media is having us already on guard when the police come. It's already, we agitate the situation instead of, let me just get through the situation. And even if it's a problem, I can fight it in court. I'm not going to fight it in the street. What's up, Slam Newton? What's going on? But, I think the police definitely do need some reform. And I'm with the moniker, I'm with the whole phrase Black Lives Matter, but how can you get behind a group as a man that they don't even mention you? How can you get with a group that's saying they're gonna destroy the family structure? That to me goes against what I'm teaching my son. That goes against what I'm trying to do as far as have a family. What's going on, Tech for you? But I mean, if you guys are out here Christians and you're promoting family, Black Lives Matter is tied to also Margaret Singer, who is a known racist, who is at Klan meetings and all these things. And Planned Parenthood is what she founded. And, she was about eradicating the lesser race, and she was about eugenics. So I don't see how I myself or anybody can get down with something that's tied into that. And I'm going to separate that from the phrase Black Lives Matter, because I do believe Black lives do matter. But that organization doesn't seem to have our best interest in mind. Well, that's what I heard, that it was created by lesbians, but it was founded by George Soros, and so George Soros is a white guy. Kwame, are you conservative or liberal? I'm not. I'm not either. Like I'm independent. I just like to look at the best deal, and I'm very common sense based. I don't need somebody to tell me something. I'm gonna be able to see it. And some of the things that it just seems like my community has been hijacked, and they only saying things that in public, that in private, I know that that's not what we're about, and that's not what we say. So I don't know. I'm confused on what's going on a little bit. I don't know, but I just would like to have the conversation without insults. A lot of times when somebody have a different of opinion than people who are with, Black Lives Matter and all this whole movement, you get called a certain name. My thing is I can give explanations and reasons why I'm not with it. And one of the reasons I already named. So, and another reason I don't hear any mention of men. So if you guys can tell me why you guys are with them, then maybe you can educate me on something. These are some strange times we're in, and I don't know what to think. Seattle girl says that. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely some strange times, but the problem is we don't speak up, and we don't speak up often. I think the people who are talking the loudest, unfortunately, their voices have been hijacked and they're lying to you. So it's a popularity contest now. If you notice, I asked people who, I asked Democrats, I asked Republicans, 9 times out of 10, when I speak to somebody who's a Republican and I ask them, what policies do you like? They can rail off certain things that they like. When I ask somebody who says they're a Democrat, they usually repeat talking points that they've heard in the media, and it's all based in race or just we got to just beat Trump. So I don't know any policies that the Democratic Party has that people like. So I do hear about school choice on the Republican side and how they're trying to do vouchers for schools. So does anybody agree with school choice? Meaning that if you live in a bad neighborhood, you can still go and take your kids and you can drive them to a nicer school zone and get them into a better school. How many parents agree with that? Is that something that's good for kids, or is that something that they should be able to be forced to go to a school just because they're zoned to that school, even if the school is failing? So y'all tell me if y'all like that or not. I hate all the large corps buying into it, sending all these BLM emails to support the cause. I mean, to me, that's white guilt, but that ain't gonna save nobody. White guilt. But let's talk about the school choice. Does anybody like school choice? Because school choice should be something that everybody support. You might not be able to afford a house in the most affluent neighborhood that's in the best school zone, but if you love your kid and you can drive her or him there in the morning, to me, school choice is a positive, good thing. But mostly Democrats are opposing school choice. Yes, well, I like that. So you gotta think about it. The Democrats are opposing, majority of them are opposing school choice, meaning that they want to keep it to where if you live in a bad neighborhood, you're zoned to go to the school that's failing. You have to go to that school that's failing. So to me, that's not fair. If you love your kid, you take them to the next school, you should have that right to do so. And let's see what we got down here. So what do y'all think? Anybody got any Democratic policies that they can share with us tonight? Anybody? Because I don't have a lot of people saying what Black Lives Matter do and are they helping. It says hurting the community, Black people can't even. Yeah, I already read that one. Man, we get a lot of traction on Facebook about Black Lives Matter, but tonight everybody quiet. We got no BLM supporters in here tonight. What did it say? I find trouble when people advocate forcing you to go to a certain school. Yeah, I mean, I find it troubling too. Democrats are basically next to the KKK. I mean, that was the party that was rubbing shoulders with the KKK back in the day. That's who founded the KKK. But apparently there was some big switch that everybody don't know about, but that's what they keep saying. But I guess Strong Thurman was the only Democrat that switched at that time, but everybody says it's some big switch. But I do find it troubling that they don't want you to be able to go to a school of your choice. I don't understand how that hurts anybody, but I would like for some more people who support Black Lives Matter to come in here and tell me what you like, because when we disagree, we can maybe meet somewhere in the middle. Anything you want to say, Jamie? Oh, you want me in this? Any more comments? The Democrats, what does it say? The Democrats are not for Black Lives Matter. We do wake up and understand that. Do you have your StreamYards up so we can call into the panel? You want me to take some call-ins tonight? All right, let's do it. How do we do that? All right, hold on. They want to call in. You can come talk. Come on. I'll mute the mic. All right, it's in the chat. I just put the link in the chat. So when you call in, I will be able to find it. Turn this mic off real quick. No, y'all gonna click the link? I ain't seen nobody click the link yet. It's right there in the chat. This world is killing itself quickly, turn us all against each other, and we'll destroy each other and give them all power. Man, I hope not. Don't talk like that. Shit. What would I see if they in the chat or not? The link is my sound was off. My sound is back on, right? Let me know if my sound back on. I clicked mute on the remote. on the mic, man. Jonathan, I hope not, Jonathan. That's Jonathan Buell from Facebook. Somebody click that link so y'all can join in. I'll put the StreamYards in the chat. Can they not see the link? Somebody click that link. We were discussing Black Lives Matter, and we didn't get too many comments on the Black Lives Matter side. I shared my opinion, and we had a couple people say they didn't support him, but like I say, I agree with the whole phrase Black Lives Matter, but I just can't get behind an organization that don't involve men and what this is. Yeah, but that don't involve men and that want to destroy the nuclear family. I can't get with that. Seattle girl, the link is in the chat. Or do I need to put it somewhere else? Let me see if I can find another video. Man, not a lot of my people from Facebook coming over here talking about this. This was a hot topic earlier today. Dre, why don't you support Black Lives Matter? And the link is in the description if anybody want to join in. It's in the chat. But tell me why you don't support Black Lives Matter. Because it seems like that get you crucified today, and if you don't like Black Lives Matter. So blacks and whites tend to get along, but the media acts like one of those gossiping chicks in high school that cause problems among friends because they need chaos to stay relevant. I agree. I definitely agree with that statement. AK bro, I definitely agree with that statement. There's a lot of people that's staying gainfully employed because of our chaos. And to me, the chatter of a race war and all that stuff that they're trying to promote, to me, that would be foolish on definitely Black people's side. Us, that ain't gonna work. We are outnumbered. We don't make munitions. It's a lot of stuff we got to do before we talk about something like that. I don't think that's gonna ever work. But it definitely wouldn't help white people to do a race war either, because we need each other. The only way we're gonna get through this is with love. Love conquers all. All that hate and all that negative speech, I just don't see how that help. But that's just me. They try and destroy the Black family, and they have a hidden agenda for the LGBTQ. Yeah, I mean, you can make a strong argument for that because, like they said, they're there to destroy the nuclear structure of a family. So when you do that, what do you replace it with? You destroy the nuclear structure to replace it with what? And so, I saw no mention of men. And I'm a man, so I can't get with that. I can't. But time to fix our schools and elevate for us Black. Yeah, I mean, I think it's time to fix a school, elevate it for us all. But I mean, definitely in our community, I think school choice makes it move towards the right direction, because now you don't have a strong hold over these kids. These kids can move away from your district, and now you can lose some fundings if you don't up your game. No parent should be forced to send their kid to a school that's not performing. They should be able to pick and choose from the best schools until everybody else level up. So more people have to read their website. Yeah, I mean, and that's crazy, Dre, that so many people don't know what it says on the Black Lives Matter website. Like, it was crazy to me. Like if you a woman and you have sons, if you a man, like I just can't see what is it that they're saying to you. Is it fear? Like what is it to make you support something that doesn't have you in mind at all? As a man, I just don't get it. So maybe somebody knows something I don't know, but last time I checked, they put it out there for the world to see, and we all can read it. So I read it, and I said, nah, can't get behind that. But Black lives do matter to me, but not that organization. Tell me what somebody else think. We got you, Dre. And we definitely need to fix the schools because that's where it's at. We're not educated. The do's and don'ts and so many different things that I've been learning just on watching YouTube. So many powerful Black men and Black leaders that should be leaders that we don't know about just because they may be saying something that's not popular on the radar of what they want us to hear. So I just think that's unfortunate. If you want to have an educated society, you tell them both sides of the coin and then you let them decide. You don't just demonize what someone is saying and call it hate speech or call it whatever you want to call it to cut off the conversation. And I think a lot of that is what's going on nowadays. So you can't have a conversation with nobody. I mean, you can't even go to the barbershop and have a conversation no more. You might get hit over the head for your opinion or your point of view on something. And you damn sure better not say you like Trump. That's a cardinal sin. So I don't know. I just think it's so much of people's life is consumed over politics now and Trump. And I just really wish people would open their eyes and just say, oh, wait. Don't tell me about Trump for 1 second and just tell me what you're going to do for us. What's your policy? And how many of y'all saw that Breakfast Club interview with Miss Angela Stanton on there with the Breakfast Club? Because if that didn't open your eyes to how they trying to push your agenda, then I don't know what will. Because this was a Black woman, we say respect all Black women and this is and that. And this is a urban radio show who they pretty much bullied and ganged up on this woman. It was 3 against 1, but when Joe Biden went up there, it was 1-on-1 with Charlamagne the God. Then he only gave him 4 or 5 minutes because his wife had a cooking show or something crazy. So if you just look at how we do each other, look at how they did this woman who only thing she did was say a different message than what they didn't like. So are we tolerant or are we not? Like I just don't get it. The way they ganged up on that woman and she held her own. I mean, she just hit them with logic. She hit them with reason. She hit them with facts. And I think Angela Yee made herself look crazy. I think Envy did too. But Charlamagne, he kind of backed down at the end because he knew it was nothing you could say. Like everything she was saying was like, no, I got a gay son. I'm not saying I hate gay people. I'm not saying none of that. Stop trying to put that into the conversation just because I don't agree. Like that's the kind of stuff we need to be able to say because it should be both sides. You shouldn't be forced to say something. It shouldn't be one way. Listen, Trump is not the problem. It's the establishment that's the problem. Well, I don't know what the establishment is, but we hear all these terms, Illuminati and all this different stuff, but who knows what? But I don't blame Trump for nothing. I sit there and think that we all got to get back to families and the core value is a family and love. There's a lot of things that I wasn't taught just because I wasn't raised in a family structure, and a lot of men, if we be honest, there's a lot of things we don't know. And if women be honest, there's a lot of things they don't know. There's a lot of healing that needs to be done. In order to get it done, you have to understand that there's a problem and you got to address the problem. Like and share. You heard of Prophet Tommy Curry? No, I haven't. But I just remember, nowadays we got so many people, arguing and frustrated and so upset. Like I remember growing up, we all was poor, we all was broke, but I still remember us having good times. I still remember us. We ain't had to duck bullets at a club We ain't have to worry about, shootouts at a certain time of night. We might fight, but at the end of the day, everybody going home. But now it's like a battlefield. Yeah, Stanton is a prime example of what the left doesn't want us to see. They want us to think that without them, we can't make it. Yeah, I mean, this woman had every check mark check. She been to prison. She was on welfare. She's a single mother. She has a gay son. I mean, it was nothing you could use. And I knew it was going to take a strong woman like that wasn't going to fall for the BS. That was just going to, hey, I'm going to stand up to you. I'm going to hold my position. And this is what you guys have been asking for: tolerance, acceptance. So you should be willing to accept the other side. And I think every time they try to demonize her, it ended up backfiring and making them look crazy, because she just held her position so calmly and without animus. Glenn County. I don't know what that means. But yeah, Miss Stanton, I'm definitely a fan. She definitely could get my vote. And she still look like she'll put something on somebody behind. So I need her up in Congress in case it get crazy. Same with the guy, who is that? Nano. Ooh, I don't know how to pronounce that name. Don't make a lie out of me. Don't make a lie out of me. Oh, and I got to plug my 30-day Man Up Challenge. It ain't too late to sign up. You can still get in now. You got to go hit the link and go to my Facebook. It's on my Facebook. It's on Kwame Brown. It's on buslife.com. You go on there, you hit the link, you buy a t-shirt. The winner, after the 30 days are up, will get a PlayStation 5 or the money for the PlayStation 5 if I can't get it in, if I can't pre-order it. I don't want y'all swinging on me. So, yeah, but let's get into it, man. I want to be able to have a space where we can have healthy debate without the drama. I want to talk about topics that nobody want to talk about and give a perspective from a guy that's came from nothing, came from the homeless shelter, the bottom of the bottom, free lunch program, went to the highest of the high, and still continued to tell you I'm a regular guy, and I'm still a regular guy to this day. So I want to give that perspective, because I think a lot of times y'all don't get that. Y'all get this victimhood. And I just think back to being a kid, and I would have never overcame any of my circumstances if I would have thought the way people are thinking now. And so I want to give my mindset and my perspective on a lot of things, because I think it just gives you a mindset that no matter what happens, you got to overcome. Because, Jesus got nailed to a cross for our sins. So that means you got to get up. You get knocked down, 10, 11 times. You got to get up to 12. And that's what I believe in. I don't believe in teaching nothing else but that. I have to check that out, bro. All right, come on, check it out. The 30-day Man Up Challenge is on my website, buslife.com. You hit the link, and you just buy the t-shirt, and you just take a picture, detail where you at, how much weight you lost, put up some shots of you working out, maybe some foods that you're eating. And like I say, the winner will get the PlayStation 5 or the funds for the PlayStation 5. We also got masks and mugs and all kind of stuff that you can purchase also on our Teesprings on buslife.com. So go check us out. But yeah, man, I just want to share my perspective on a lot of the stuff I see going on, because like I say, my perspective is not going to be a perspective that's controlled by anybody's mindset. It's going to be my own free thinking, free flowing thought. And it's going to be from a guy who actually walked it like I talk it. So the reason why, if I'm going to say don't cry, it's because I've been in any situation that you can cry about, So I don't see how you're going to get around me when I ate at the Manor House. And I know plenty of people on here and around the world that know me, know my family story. So I think for a lot of years I was quiet, because I just believe in just keeping your head down and working. Your situation is unique to you, so you figure it out, and that's what I believe in. I believe in hard work, and if you stay true to something, it's gonna pay off at the end of the day. And that's a message that we need to teach these kids. And not one of you can't, not one of somebody's holding you back. Why would anybody try if you tell them that? If you would have told me that somebody was holding me back, I wouldn't try. I would have just gave up, because why try? Somebody's holding me back already. You already gave me the excuse. First, our brothers need to first get some balls, logic, reasoning, and emotional intelligence, so they can control their emotions. Well, I agree with you, but it also takes mentors now. Where would I be without my mentor? I thank God for my mentor, because I got a sense to see what a black man looked like in a family household, and he had enough to give himself and time to me and give time to his kids, and he had 4 of them. So we do need some mentoring programs, because you can't ask these black men to be males when they're raised up around nothing but females. They're going to emulate what they are around. So, but they're gonna have testosterone as well. So, when you see a man that's all rah 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 like that, that might not be masculine energy. He might be emulating what he saw growing up. It's just a man doing it, but he's emulating his mama. So you need mentors, and you need fathers, but that takes mothers and fathers to not feud for that to happen. Curry wrote a seminal book on black male studies and was forced to teach in the UK by feminists. That's what's up. I don't know about that one, but we definitely need fathers in the homes. But what else? I mean, what else do we need? I think it's our culture, if you ask me. I remember growing up and reading books and going to class, and you get picked on for doing that. I got told I was talking white. A lot of the things that we do to each other, a lot of the times when you dark skinned like me, so many people tell you dark. A lot of the things is self-inflicted. But at the end of the day, I never cared about all that. I just looked at my situation, and I wanted so bad to grow up, because I knew once I grew up, I was going to change my situation. I said, I can't do nothing about it right now, but once I'm an adult, I'm going to right every wrong that I see around me. And that was my driving force. I wanted to right every wrong of every adult that was around me. And a lot of young boys are faced with that now too. You're just trying to be better than your father. You're just trying to be present because your father wasn't. You're trying to be that man that your mama didn't get. A lot of that goes on in our community as well. But let's see. Yeah, y'all ain't talkative tonight. But hopefully we can do this more often. I'm going to go live more often, and I'm going to have videos, and I'm going to have them set up to where I'm going to play the video, and I'm going to give my reaction to the video. And then hopefully we can break down the video together, and we go live. I don't know what happened with the chat. If y'all saw the link in the chat, I didn't see nobody trying to get on. So, but yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get that in next time. We'll have a little link set up before we do it, or I'll just get a Skype so they can Skype call, because we got to be able to have it to where they can call in. Because I would love to chat with people that's gonna have a real conversation and not be afraid to just be honest. Because a lot of the stuff that's going on, people are not honest about it. You think there's a spider on my wall? As long as it don't jump on me, I won't bite it. You got some good eyes if you see a spider on the damn wall. And that's a few of my little plaques and little trophies. Those ones I do have. Was the topic of race a part of yours and your childhood, friends and child like it was like we see today? Oh no, man, we didn't talk about that. Like I didn't even I wasn't around white people until they regentrified our school in elementary. I was bused over to St. Simon's Elementary. So I was around all black people until we went to school for those couple of hours. And race didn't really come up, We didn't talk. We didn't have TV pumping that stuff into our head like that over and over again. Now, where you can't get away from it. It's on your smartphone. It's on CNN. It's on all your radio stations. It's everywhere. So you can't get away from it. So that's constantly what you're thinking about. My 6-year-old daughter know about race. I don't know how, but she knows. What you think about people marching for change, but continue violence in our own community? I think we need more people like you actually giving truth and looking for clout when talking to the youth. Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely need to, if we're going to call it on the one end, we got to call it on the other end. We can't march when the person is white or it's a cop kills somebody, and then we don't, when you got kids getting killed in Atlanta, Chicago, all these different places, New York. It's a sad truth that we don't want to talk about what we do to ourselves. We keep wanting to point the finger at everybody else, but we are sick as a people. We got some stuff we got to fix, or ain't nothing gonna change. I mean, just imagine. I just don't understand how we don't see how behavior ties into the way that we are being treated. Let me ask you something, women. If you had a man that lived with his mama, would you treat the man that lived with his mama the same as you treat the doctor that you met the night before? A man that you met that's a doctor, will you treat him the same as the man that you met that lived with his mama? You're going to treat them different because you're going to assume that the things that they've done in life warrants the way that you treat them. Same way with men. If you find out a woman has been, promiscuous and this and this and that, are you going to treat her the same as a woman who goes to church and who handles herself a certain way? No. So if we're going to be treated a different way, then we're going to have to behave a certain way. And that's a fact that people don't want to talk about. That is an important key that we have to adjust, is the way that we behave, because that's going to change the way that we're looked at. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't think that was deep. I just thought that was common sense. I mean, your reputation has followed you since elementary school. I used to talk in class, so anytime they heard some chatter, they immediately look somewhere in my direction because I've been caught doing that, 1 or 2 times. And people don't understand that follows you. A reputation follows you. What is our reputation? As a whole, we make up about 13% of the population, but we account for about 52% of murders. That's a reputation. Homicides. That's a reputation. And so if you're going to have that reputation, then they're going to treat you accordingly. So until people address that, I don't know what we're going to get. We need more MLKs and Malcolm X. There's no positive leadership, it seems. To me, I'm different in that. I think we need to focus on leading ourselves. As men, we need to be brave and we need to be courageous and we need to be mindful that, men need their own space. And so you should be trying to carve out your own piece of land with your woman and your family, and you should be trying to live on your own. So I don't think you should be seeking a leader. And I think that's a lot of what our problem is that we're seeking a leader. So if I lead you, then who are you? You just turn into me. You just gonna do what I say. So then you lose yourself in me. So you don't need no leader. And if I'm leading you astray, then you following me into the hellfire and you never even made a decision. So I don't look for leaders. I look to lead myself. And that seems to have been working out pretty good for me. And not to say that I'm perfect, because I've made every mistake under the sun. I kind of learned that way by hitting my head against the wall and saying, "Oh shit, I ain't doing that no more." Hitting my head over here, "Oh shit, I ain't doing that no more." But I done hit my head enough, so I think I got a pretty good grasp of what's going on now. People ask you, what do you do first most times, so they can decide a level of respect they want to show you. Absolutely. They ask you, what do you do? They ask you, what college did you go to? They ask you, are you married? All of these things are range finders to see where you at, what type of decisions you made, because they're going to make judgments based on what you say after that. So I don't understand why we don't know that some of the things that we do and some of the behaviors that we display is going to create an environment that we don't want to be in. Sad thing is, a lot of families would put money on our books in jail, but not money on our books in college. Man, boy, you said a mouthful then. I say that all the time. We have parties for dudes and cousins of mine who get out of jail, but we don't have going away parties or coming home parties for the guys who go to college. So that just shows you priorities. I know guys that they work for clothes. They got every Jordan in the book, every number, every belt. They got everything. And it's like, for what? You can see that same goddamn girl at Walmart. And you ain't got to wear all that. So I don't get it. I do not get it. But we got to make a decision. Are we going to keep falling for good gestures like painting Black Lives Matter on a court? I don't see what that's going to do. But are we going to keep falling for stuff like that, or do we want them to set us down and say, "This is what we're going to give y'all. This is we've been seeing reparations and all this. Okay, are you going to get it or no?" We got to get somewhere where somebody say, I want some hard answers on some things. I want Charlemagne and all them to press Joe Biden like they did Miss Stanton. Because the way we do each other, like I say, it don't make no sense. What's your take on Snoop Dogg seeing Bunch meme? What did he say? Seeing Bunch meme? I'm not trying to cause conflict, so if you don't want to weigh in, that's cool. I didn't see his meme. Snoop Dogg's C and Bunch meme. I didn't see it. I had to look it up. What is the meme about? Let me see if I can look it up. Snoop Dogg seeing Bunch meme. That can't be it. It's a year ago. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I see this coon thing. I think I posted that. Nah, I don't see it. But should it? No, I already read that. Okay, and I read that too. Yeah, but so anybody else got any take on Black Lives Matter, Democratic policies, anything like that y'all want to talk about tonight? Because like I say, this would be a time that we can educate people who may not know something about the Democratic Party that might sway them that way. And people that's with the Republican Party, this is what it's about. Y'all go ahead and let's see what's what. Because I don't know any policies of the Democratic Party. I've heard some Republicans speak about the policies that they know and that they like from Trump. Most thing I hear from Democrats is they just hate Trump. So is the hatred for Trump in the policies? Is that what we're saying? Because if that's the case, I mean, shit, that would be interesting. But we will be getting this thing going to where we can, we will be able to go live and we'll be able to chat, because I think that'll be a better platform than me just reading off the questions. But it felt good getting my first one under me out the way. If you guys want to go to my website and send me some questions or some topics that you guys want to talk about at buslife.com, we can do that. And I'll be going live again tomorrow. Until then, I'm out.